Hello and welcome to Bluudys Garage, and more importantly, welcome to the very first time to my unit. As you can see, it's freaking huge. Now, the purpose of this series is I've decided I want to buy a budget, broken shed of a car, and I want to keep trading my way up and eventually hopefully end up with some form of like supercar, if that was possible. A bit like Mike Brewer did in Really Dealers Trading Up, or pretty much exactly like Mike Brewer did in Trading Up. So I have started off with a shed. It was worse than I thought it was going to be because the engine was completely seized, and with a bit of luck I'm going to get it going, and when I actually sell it we might make a bit of profit. Using that profit we can then move forward and buy the next car, whatever the next car may be, I have no idea. But I'm going to do the videos with you. I'm going to keep them quite a small amount of episodes. I don't want to do a massive amount of episodes on each car, but if there's some in-depth work I'll release videos as and when we go along. But it's going to be quite a small set of videos per car. So the car I've gone for today, or for this little set of videos, is a Mark IV Volkswagen Golf. You're about to see it, you're going to see me pick it up. Now there's not much footage to start with because I didn't want to really film the person's house, because you know it's their house. But it's a quick look around the car, and you'll notice that it's on black wheels. They wanted to keep them wheels, and I bought some other wheels, so when I actually get it back to the unit you will see that the wheels have changed, and that is why. So now let's jump ahead to when I actually pick the car up. I ain't got a trailer yet, and the trailer's obviously empty. Just jumped in and come straight down. I like the project. No, I have no idea. No idea until we get it back. Brought the car back to Leeds, picked it up from Alton. The girl is very distraught that we bought it off her, but unfortunately it doesn't work, and that's the reason why we've got it as a project. It's on different wheels than what you first saw when it was on the driveway, because he wanted to keep them wheels, which is fine. So I managed to pick up this set of Audi wheels, and that's what's on at the moment. So I've already been buying things for it, and I haven't even got it back to the unit yet. Nick is the driver that's brought me back with his awesome Land Rover. And we're here, so we're about ready to unload it. It doesn't run, the battery's not connected, the starter motor is not even attached, but unfortunately they are apparently not the fault, so we need to find out why it doesn't run. But we're just going to get it unloaded, so let's get it done. We have a floating Supra. I reckon that'll do, bud. Yeah.
Oh, that's just be a really quick unload.
You want what?
So no, this will be a really quick unload. Oh, now you've got a duffel.
Here we have the delightful 1.4 Golf that doesn't run. Not really much to say about it other than it was a very cheap car. and this is hopefully the start of this project where we can buy and flip and whatever happens to hopefully make some money and end up with a supercar. And we are starting with this. A dog is for life, not just for Christmas. And a tattoo studio. Yeah, so it's nothing special. It's literally the 1.4 Max, which is quite low down the range, but overall it's not in bad condition. It's very dirty. But the biggest issue with this car is it does not run. Now, the previous owners had the battery checked, and they've also had the starter motor off and checked, and both those things work, but when they put the key in the ignition, it doesn't do anything. But at the moment the starter motor is still off and the battery is still off, so I'm going to get everything fitted back on just so we can start from afresh, and we can go from there and see if it doesn't start or what it does, if it makes any lights on the dashboard or anything like that. So all the crap that was removed, all the plastic covers and all that business is all inside the car, so I'm going to quickly get that back together and put the starter motor back on in that hole just down there. So the starter motor is back on, and I've loosely put the battery tray in and the battery. About to connect the air for the first time. Yeah, alarm might go off. If there's an alarm, I have no idea. I heard things move inside the engine that went whoosh. I have no idea what that was. That key's not doing anything, and that key's not doing anything. We have lights inside. We have lights inside, so that's promising. Whoa. We have ignition. Not ignition. We have lights on dashboard. I'll take that back. We've got mileage in that on there. Key in. Turn them off. Ooh. That is trying. Yeah. Isn't it? I need to do some more looking at that, but yeah, the first time I've connected a fully charged battery on, and it's clicking. Not from the flat battery, but the start motor is struggling to engage. Interesting. So after doing some investigating, and by investigating we've literally just pulled a few covers off and had a look at the cam belt and tried rocking the car in gear, and it's absolutely lock solid. Yeah, cam belt snapped. So I don't even think it's possible for me to get the camera in that gap, but somewhere in that gap you see the belt in bits, as spotted by my friend Nick there. So yeah, cam belt's gone. So the thing is we need to do now is strip the top off and have a look at what the damage is and how much it's going to cost to repair. So we've been cracking on ripping down all those covers and get the engine mount off so we can have a better look. Now the belt is still intact, but it's shredded. As you can see, it's been rubbing on the side, and it's a lot thinner than it originally was. Just pulled a bit out there, already pulled another bit out, and yet it's still a lot solid. So I'm going to continue to keep stripping this down, see if we can get a good look of what's actually happened. All them bolts are at that, ready to come out. I'm just working my way down, going to get this plastic cover off and the bottom pulley, hopefully, and the tensioner. Hopefully get them out of the way. We can have a look at the crank. We'll see if we can, well, we'll not be able to time it up, because obviously we can't turn it over. So yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. I continue to strip the engine down. The belt is off, and obviously the cam box is over on the bench over there. So in theory now all these valves should be shut, so I should be able to rotate the bottom of the engine over, and I can't. As I'm cranking, it's only going so far and hitting, which can only mean there is a bent valve, or valves, plural. I need to keep going to find out how many is damaged and how many is bent, but potentially this could be an uneconomical repair. It all depends on how many is damaged and if I have to replace the lot. Well, after a bit more digging, I have found the reason why I cannot turn the engine over. So I have removed the cam box, as you can see, it is sat there, and then I've been using my oscilloscope and I've been checking over all of the cylinders because the valves are not sat right at all. I put my little mirror tool on the end of my oscilloscope, which means obviously I can turn it round and I can see back at the valves. Now if we go onto this screen here, go through the ball, rotate it around just enough, there's a bit of a valve stuck down onto the cylinder, turn it a bit more, there's a bit of the valve wedged into the cylinder with the looks of it. Oh dear, dear, dear me. So the question I have to ask myself now, and the question that I have to ask no one else here, so me, is it going to be an economical repair? So I've got to price up parts. So I'm going to have to take the head off, so I'm going to need a gasket. I'm going to need timing belt, may as well do full timing belt kit. So that's obviously a water pump and the other belt which goes on the cam box. I'm then going to need probably 16 valves, and they're £10 each anyway. Timing belt kit is £100 with water pump, it's over £100. So that's 260 quid in parts. Then you've got your head gasket on the top, and I don't know what that is off the top of my head. I'm already into this car for 300 quid. Well, I'm into it. So I had the car, which is 150. I had my trailer hire, which was 60 quid. I've got whatever Nick's going to charge me, which we'll find out later in this video for fuel, because I don't know, 50, 60 quid, I don't know how much fuel was. What else have I missed off of there? Might be it. I feel like I forgot something else. But anyway, this will be wrapped up at the end of the video. So I'm already into the car for, let's say, 300 quid at this moment in time. If I spend another 300 quid on parts, I need to be able to sell it for more than £600 as a runner, to at least break even. And that's before I found anything else wrong with it. I don't think there's anything else wrong with it. I've not looked, but it still has an MOT. So I now need to go to the computer and price up parts. I'm going to continue to strip this engine down because well, I'm sure you guys want to see the actual damage and I want to see the damage, and I don't know if we can get away with pistons like that. So, and if it needs pistons, I don't even know. So now I need to price up an engine. Is an engine cheaper than all the parts I've just mentioned? Can I get a running engine cheaper? Who knows? This is where I need to do research, find out what is the most viable option, the cheapest option, safest option, and go from there. So when I have a bit more of an update, I'll come back to you. Might be a bit dark in the car at the moment. So I've done some research. It's going to be much cheaper to change the engine than it is to repair the one that we've got. I'll try and do a breakdown later in the video of how much it's going to cost. But the engine, I've managed to get one on eBay for 150 quid. I just need to go and pick it up. So that'll be in the next video. This video, we're going to start by cracking on and getting this engine ripped out, ready for the new one. That's the only thing to do, really. But 150 quid for an engine that's actually got less miles than this is much cheaper than trying to repair this one. That is for sure. So I was in process of attempting to get the engine out. I got the drive shafts to take off. Everything that you can pretty much see in front of you is all wiring. I've got the hoses to disconnect for the air conditioning, for the coolant. Power steering lines are in the way as well. I've already disconnected the electrics of the starter motor. That was nice and easy. But whatever other parts of the loom I've got to disconnect as well. I don't know if there's a plug to disconnect yet and everything will come out as one, or if I've got to disconnect the stuff off the engine. I don't know as of yet. Done the exhaust. There was only 3 bolts in the downpipe out of the 4, one snapped, and then when I've undone it, the whole exhaust section decided it wanted to spin in my hand. You can't really see, so I imagine when I actually do start it up with the new engine, it's probably going to blow, but that'll be an easy fix. Trying to save all the parts without damaging anything, but the bottom ball joint and the track rod end on the passenger side have decided that they're just going to spin, so I don't really know what I'm going to do at this moment in time. But yeah, at some point this engine will come out, but when, I have no idea. Slowly but surely getting there. Lots of things have been disconnected now. I'm just taking off the wiring harness. There's some more plugs in that bottom corner that I can pull the rest of the harness back over here. Still got this bottom ball joint to do on this side, but this side is all cracked off now. Drive shaft's ready to pull out, but I haven't put a bowl underneath to get it fluid yet. But yeah, coolant's still in it, engine oil still in it. and the gearbox oil still in it. But nearly finished this ignition loom. I've done the injector, sorry. The wiring loom, ignition's already off, I just need to chuck it over there. Coolant pipes, done the aircon pipes. We're nearly there. Well, I say nearly there, still got fluids to drain, and that's going to take time, but we're nearly there. I've decided I was going to ask a friend to come and help me pull an engine out. I went, are you free? I went, what are you doing? I said, I'm pulling an engine out and hopefully putting one in. Look, it's Chris, everybody! He's alive!
Why do you say every video I'm alive? No one actually thinks I'm dead.
People do think you're dead.
Really?
So, Chris wanted to have a look at what the status of the valve.
I'm bleeding head off.
Are you there? I can't tell. I just twist it around quite a bit. Oh no, that's it there, clearly in the middle of the screen. That's a piece of valve. Yeah, so already in this video I've already got most of the engine ready to remove. Chris is just here now to help me actually get it out. So pulling an engine out is definitely easier when you have more than one pair of hands. But what we also have, but this will be in the next video, is I went all the way to Middlesbrough. Well, I went to Oldham, I bought a trailer, then I went to Middlesbrough and I bought an engine. So we have a replacement engine. So fingers crossed, by the end of the next video, we'll have a running car. But at the end of this one, we should have an engine out. Near enough everything's disconnected except for the drive shafts and a couple of plugs, and it's ready to pull out. So the engine is as loose as it's pretty much going to be now. There's just a couple of clips which I'm struggling to get to, but we'll be able to get to hopefully as it starts coming out.
Needs to get in.
And what?
Needs to get you on.
We had to use an extension on an extension on an extension with a long multi-spline bit, which is a drive shaft. That thing. We're going to put you on time lapse when we start taking the engine out. Or I might put the whole process on. Who knows? We'll find out shortly. I'll trust you. If it drops out, it's fault. Are you sure that's going to get tighter? Are you sure that's going to get tighter? Are you sure that's going to get tighter? Okay.
Got that?
Is it more cool with that?
Mostly front brake. So.
I've just pushed it in a bit because obviously it's coming up. We have the engine mount on this side that I can take off and get it off because obviously the mount's going to catch the cylinder. That's me the mini, the small 3/8 one. That's all the big one. Well, they're not small.
Deadlight.
Can I get it in, Captain? I didn't do it first time. I could have sworn I got one in.
Push it in now.
Hey?
Push it in now.
This will be the longest part of the video. I mean to talk to the viewers, tell them that you're alive.
The audio is not mine. I could be a ghost and not talking.
I did not like that.
You just pushed it off your leg. I don't know why you just done that to the mouth and told me not to.
LOL!
I
Okay.
told you we shot it to the mouth.
Okay.
Too late.
Let's I fucked up. Yes, you did. He wrapped the strap around the engine mount, but the engine mount was catching on the was about to catch on
Too late now.
the brake reservoir. So I took it off without realising that what I was doing, and that's why it moved. Oh, funny. Now what?
Drop engine down.
What do you mean drop engine down? Can't we just put another strap on it?
Could do. Yeah, you got the shock engine strap on.
Oh, it's strap. To be fair, that strap is still holding.
Yeah, but you can see what happens.
We lift the engine up a bit more.
Just tell everyone what you've just done.
And for whatever reason, I realised I had 2 lights in my hands, and I went like that. I'm not doing it again. I completely blinded myself. But whilst he was pausing the camera, so keep going, keep going, a bit more. God, you must move a bit more. Why am I holding 2 lights? Flashing.
That's got to be out.
Yeah, so. Yeah.
Right, can you see where that plug goes?
No. It's under the board. Unless you could see it from that side. Why it would run all the way back round, I have no idea. Now, you have a light, see if you can see from that side. Don't blind me.
Just pull on the key, so you think can move.
Feel it then.
What, below the intake?
Yeah, blow the intake manifold. There's one plug that we can't undo, we couldn't get to it. But I can feel it on the other end. You got it.
Feel it, I just can't do anything.
Jack it up, mate, while I'll try and hold this pipe out of the way. It's like threading a giant needle. With an engine-shaped needle.
So that's the power steering for? What you need to take off?
Yes it is. When removing engines, always make sure that you disconnect all the relevant pipes. Otherwise, they come up with the engine. I left the power steering hard pipe on. I was like, it's still coming up here, it's still tight, it's getting stuck on stuff. It's because it's still coming up with a bloody pump. It's a very good spot by Chris. I hate that this has a strobe effect when you turn it off. Is that S2S mode? Oh, you're taking the whole bump off?
No, just, yeah, the whole pump.
Okay.
You don't have to do anything.
Oh no, but obviously parts already disconnected.
Turn it reservoir.
This is where I'm maxing out the crate.
Yeah, that's also we're going to the end. That's that very much what it's like. Show that.
She's still going. Get the stump right?
No, I don't know if we've done that thing.
No, there's a story behind the number plate. The girl crashed into another car, broke her number plate, didn't tell her mum, lied to her mum, and now it's like a family story, so she actually wants the number plate back. Because of this lie. Mum knows now.
I'm going to text her, we're going to show watching the video.
And she's going to watch the video. Hello! She's giving me some number plates for it. So, if I just lift this up, will you drag it out?
So we're possibly damaging the number plate even more.
No, it's not damaging the number. No.
Okay. You're on the bonnet.
I'm out. We're out! Oh no, put that freaking hole in the floor. A bit, because it goes out quick. No.
Favourite thing in the world,
No, let's see you lower it. Let's actually take it a bit further away from the car. Lower it. Okay.
You want to smell diesel?
Diesel? It's not diesel, it's petrol.
It's not diesel.
The only diesel thing in here is Alan. That's it, nice and gentle does it. We got it out! I feel like there's a thumbnail to be had here, and the thumbnail to be had is like, you know, like this. This is the thumbnail. Or do I need to be the other side? Do I need to be the other side of the engine crane? Did you get the car in too? Maybe you need to be there. Maybe you need to be in it! You can be in the thumbnail!
What was going to take it? It's fine.
Oh shit, yeah, it's going to take it. Maybe, would you like to stand here and I take one of you now?
No. Let's go on.
Have we got the car in it and have we got the crane and the engine in it?
Yes, we have. That's fine.
Let's have a look. Oh, see, this is all a freaking video. Why is my face so red? I like it because it's in there. Engine's out! Engine is out. So, people who have still actually made it to the end of this film, which it might be Nick, could be Terry, and the last of Botov, So, this is the end of this part of the video, mainly because, well, it kind of makes sense, the engine is out, the dead engine is out. At some point we will rip this pot apart and we'll get to the piston and we can have a look at the valve, but that won't be in this video, because this video is now quite long. Yeah, so thank you very much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe as always, and if you're interested in being a part of the patronage of the channel, there's a link for that in the description. I am not going to go into any prices or anything of what I've spent, I know I've mentioned a bit in the video, but I'll do all that at the end. But yeah, cool, right, see you soon.